Hello and welcome to Verba. My name is Anna.
And I'm Nick.
And Nick's joining us today to do some more singing feedback.
Hello.
So if you are new and you're like, what's going on? A few months ago, we did a giveaway and offered many of you, our audience, the chance to get some feedback, some advice. We give you lots of exercises, and sometimes it's nice just to put yourself out there and to know if you're doing the right thing or if there's something else you can be working on, or just to ask someone a question for a little bit of help. And so that's what these sessions are for. So we've chosen another 5 singers who have been very brave to put themselves out there, and today Nick and I are going to be giving you a little bit of advice from our professional opinion, what we think you could work on to improve, and just what we think in general. Of course, those of you who are watching, you're also welcome to give your opinion. I would just say, remember, this is a safe environment. We're all here to learn, and so if anything that you are going to say in terms of commenting on other people singing, just keep it constructive. There's no need for just general unpleasantness, and anyone who doesn't follow that general rule will be kicked out of the chat room. So let's keep it nice and let's get straight on in there. I'm just going to say a very quick hello to everyone who is joining us in the chat room. I've already been chatting away to you. Hi. Beautiful day here in London. I hope it's just as nice wherever you are. So the very first person that we're going to be looking at is a lady called Katie. Her channel is called Katie and the Q, and she's just generally wanting some advice on her singing. So here we go.
Dance to the jingle, 'cause the rhythm don't stop. Just one look at you and my eyes go pop. Wait a while, then you've got me for life. You are dangerous and it cuts my soul like a knife. Your love for me, I will always remember. Can you wait for me until December? You are my first ever love. You are my first, you're my first ever love.
Okay, thank you very much, Katie. You were the first one up. Of course, it's quite scary putting yourself out there.
Oh my gosh, so much.
I don't know about you, but I always found it really scary if I had to just sing in the front room in front of my parents.
Oh, it's the worst thing of like friends are like, oh, sing for me, and you're like, no.
Like if you can see your audience, I think that's
scary.
Even more scary. But yes, thank you, Katie. I always give huge kudos to anyone who plays an instrument and sings at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really, really tough. Now, the positives. Katie, obviously you're playing guitar. That's great. You're playing guitar and singing. I really like the background of your video, actually. I think the setup with the stairs just gives real dynamic to the video. So if you're going to be making a lot more videos, then the stairway is a great place to do your videos. I loved it. I do have to say that the video you originally sent to us, because I don't think this was the original one, was it?
No, I think this is one we rooted for.
It didn't work. So if you're wondering, Katie, why we've chosen that video, it's just one that we chose from your channel because we couldn't get the link to work that you sent us. So I hope that's all right. In terms of constructive criticism, what we think would help you, we know that you're going for a certain style.
Oh, yeah.
You're going for that it's kind of country style, right?
It's kind of country acoustic, isn't it, I would say.
But you have to be careful not to be too breathy. So we feel like your voice is very much in the throat and a little bit pushed forward and very, very breathy. So you're not getting good vocal fold closure. And I'm not sure if that's the same voice you use when you exercise, but if you use that voice all the time, it's not going to be healthy for your vocal development. So I suggest that you do exercises that really bring your vocal folds together. And you were saying that...
I was saying I think it's doing exercises on an E, because an E snaps the vocal folds together. I say snaps. It helps give vocal cord closure easier than most vowels do.
Yeah, so when you're doing a lot of the exercises that I offer on the channel, I will do different vowels. A lot of them will have E's, but you can change the vowels and do whichever vowels you want to use. And I would suggest you do more E vowels than anything else, just so you get the nice E, E.
But be careful though not to change it into a he, because a lot of people, when you do start doing E vowels, we all do it. I mean, I do it all the time. I get really lazy and I go he, and that's still that breathy tone coming through, and it stops the closure.
Yeah.
So make sure it's always an E and not a he.
Yeah. So you can tell the difference. He, that's breath. E, that's vocal fold closure. So that's what you're looking for. Also, everyone who plays the guitar, you're going to have this slightly hunched over position.
Yeah.
Try really hard. When you're exercising, maybe lose the guitar altogether. You won't need it. Not if you're using our videos. So sit up nice and straight and really work on those muscles, engaging and being active when you're singing. So you know you're getting a good connection down here and supporting the voice properly. I
do think it's good to say though, like, we did think you have a really nice tone.
Yes,
though.
yes,
So,
we
like,
did enjoy that.
Above everything, like, your tone is really lovely.
Yeah.
It's just these little extra things we were thinking of to help.
Yeah, just the connection. All right, lovely. Thank you very much. So let's have a look at some of the comments here. Okay, so one of you has asked, how can you prevent from straining when singing? I saw that somewhere.
Where was that?
Please.
Please, suggestion on how not to strain the voice?
How not to strain the voice. Well, there's a couple of things.
Yes.
First of all, if you feel like you're straining, if you feel that scratchy feeling, you feel like it's really pushed and it's closing down, you have to stop. I know lots of people who just kind of push through and just think if they give it a bit more energy, they'll get through. Once you get into that constricted position, the only thing that's going to release it is stopping, relaxing the muscles, coming back to a neutral position and starting afresh. So if you're exercising and you feel that strain, stop and readjust. What would you suggest?
I would also suggest when you're trying to, say, reach for a high note, instead of thinking that you're reaching for it and you're climbing up to it, instead of if you think that you're grounding it and it's actually you're pushing the sound. I don't want to say push the sound down, but you know
you're
what I mean?
heading down. You're
But
aiming
aiming
downwards.
down so that you're almost sitting on the sound. I find that whenever I'm singing higher, I almost feel that what I'm doing is I'm pushing a block down.
Okay.
I don't know
So,
why a
yeah.
block. You know, like on the cartoons, the little TNT buttons.
Yeah.
I almost feel that I'm pushing that down.
And also what will happen there while you're doing that is you're going to engage the
back
lats, which are
muscles.
these muscles here.
Yeah. So that will give you that extra added support.
Yeah, so you're kind of, engaging the body that way. I think I mentioned it in the last feedback session, the same sort of thing, that if you're going for a note that's quite high, what we tend to do is think up, 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 and we reach and we strain upwards. If it's too high, then think that you're above the note and you're going down, 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 and just if imagining it down, it stops the strain.
And also I think as well, if you always think about the sound as being open, the more open the sound is, actually the easier it is to sing higher, which subconsciously we think you need to push and you need to squeeze.
Yeah.
Where it needs to be open and pushed down. It's very weird.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next singer. So the next singer is a gentleman.
Yes.
Called, I'm sorry if I pronounce this wrong, but it's called Suprad. And you're doing a little collaboration with one of my favourite singers on
I
Schmool.
love him.
Okay, so let's have a look.
We danced the night away, we drank too much. I held your hair back, you were throwing up. And then you smiled over your shoulder. For a minute I was stone cold sober. I pulled you closer to my chest, and you asked me to stay over. I said I already told you, I think that you should get some rest. But I knew I loved you then, but you'd never know. Cause I played it cool when I was scared of letting go. I knew I needed you, but I never saw it. But I wanna stay with you until we grow old. Just say you won't let go. Just say you won't let go. I'll wake you up with some breakfast in bed. I'll bring you coffee with a kiss on your head. And I'll take the kids to school with a goodbye. And I'll thank my lucky stars for the night. When you looked over your shoulder, for a minute I forget that I'm older. I don't wanna dance with you right now. Whoa, and you as beautiful as ever. And I swear that every day you get better. You make me feel this way somehow. I'm so in love with you, and I hope you know, darling, your love is more than what this wedding goes. We've come so far, my dear, look how we've grown. But I don't wanna stay with you till we're getting old. Just say you won't let go. Just say you won't let go.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. I absolutely love that
I
song,
love that song.
which is why I allowed it to run a little
Yes.
bit longer than I normally do. Yeah, I love James Arthur, and that song in particular is one of my absolute favourites. So thank you for putting that forward, because it made me smile. Okay, so a male singer.
Yes.
On the positive side, we really, really enjoyed some of the lower tones. Were very, very rich, very vibrant.
Lovely.
Of course, there's a lot with things like Schmall. You can put the effects on, and you can kind of, cover the voice. But we think that the lower notes are really, really suited to you, and we'd like to hear you performing
Explore.
songs, that explore that lower tone a little bit more. But you got the high notes. You're in pitch, at the right
It's all
pitch when you're
there.
high. We just felt that when you do go up high, sometimes it's a little bit stretched and a little bit reached for, and actually you can see you're straining up a little.
There's a little bit of issue, just a slight issue with the
Projecting out, jutting the...
jutting the neck out, and the thing is, the head is so heavy. Like, people forget that actually the head is the heaviest part of the body. I'm saying that right. That is right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank God, I don't want to be giving out
I don't
any...
know if it's a heavy... It depends how big a brain is, I
Well,
guess.
to be fair, mine is real heavy. No, but like the brain...
Yeah, the head is heavy.
Really heavy. And what we
So
don't
you
realise
tension
is
the
that
neck.
the neck has a lot of pressure on it. So if you're jutting the head out, actually what's happening is all the muscles around the throat and around the voice tend to work in overdrive. So it's good to keep a nice, relaxed position, because then it opens up the voice a lot more.
Yeah. And also, like, the vocal what's this called?
The trachea? No, wait, sorry. The larynx.
No, the larynx is the actual... The
Are we
voice
talking
box.
about the pharynx?
So I'm talking about the tube. It's
the...
What's it called? The esophagus.
No, the esophagus isn't part of that.
What's this called? Your windpipe.
Your windpipe.
Okay, right, your windpipe.
Your trachea. Your trachea, that's it, your trachea.
Oh, it's one of those days. So this, where your larynx moves up and down it. And if you stretch, you're actually making it thinner. And so your larynx can't move up and down very well. So if you do this, your larynx can't move up, and it just gets a bit tense. So it's another reason for keeping your head in line. What else did we say? Oh, when you're doing the end of... Say you won't let go, say you won't let go. That bit.
Yeah.
Because it's quite high for you and it's a little bit strainy, we think that you should open the vowel more. So rather than doing ooh, you should do Can you do it?
So
Boy voice.
Just say you won't let go. Instead of doing it as an ooh, do it on an oh. It's almost like
it's open, like an
open So oh.
Yeah.
So that it's projected a lot easier. It's
good job you're not teaching English.
No,
now.
I know, isn't it? But one final thing about the high notes, they were lovely. That like say you won't, it was really nice. It's just be careful to make sure that it won't go back. So don't place the sound back. So instead of making it go say you won't let go, always place it forward. So always project the sound forward.
Imagine you're trying to hit a target, like a dartboard. So you're driving your voice forward to the dartboard.
I always say it's like the difference between singing and speaking is there isn't any difference. So there is no difference. And when you're singing and when you're speaking, you're communicating a sound to someone or to something. So the sound is naturally projected forward. Yeah. Same way with singing. So it's always projected to something or someone.
Yeah. Stick it in their forehead. Okay, so a lot of you asking about how you can put your video forward. You just have to wait until October. So there's two ways you can get feedback. If you want public feedback, like right here, right now, you have to wait until the giveaway opens. We do one every couple of months. So the next one will probably be around October time. So if you make sure you're subscribed and you press the bell notification button, and then you'll receive all the notifications to say when we're releasing videos. We do about 1 or 2 a week. New lessons. And the other way So you can wait till October and then put your link forward. But the other way, if you want private feedback, is to become a patron. And I do have to give a massive shout out to my patrons who currently support the growth of this channel. You guys are awesome. So thank you very much. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, there should be a link in the description of this video where you can go and check that out. Okay, so now we're going to check out the next singer. And this is a lovely lady called Grace Almond. And she's singing one of my favourite songs.
I love this song so
This
much.
is from the musical Cabaret, and this is called Maybe This Time. So let's have a look at Grace.
Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. Well, all the odds are they're in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's gonna happen, happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll win.
Amazing.
So good.
Okay, so Grace, we love. I mean, we're musical theatre. One of you actually was asking what kind of singers we are.
Yeah.
We both trained at the Royal Academy of Music.
Yes.
So we have trained in all styles of singing, or mostly all styles of singing. But of course, when you go to the Royal Academy of Music, their musical theatre course, you're training for musical theatre.
Yeah.
So that's our main background. But
Although I did study an I've told you this, haven't I? Did
What?
I not tell you? I studied
What?
an opera.
You
I went to
studied
opera-
an opera?
I went to opera school. Did I not tell you this?
no.
Have I not?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, this is something for.
I mean, he's Italian, so you
Well,
would
so
you
of
would
course.
assume that he's got some operatic background.
Well, I originally studied an opera before going to the academy.
Oh.
And when I was studying opera, I was trained. This sounds so pretentious, but I was studying as a dramatic tenor or a Helden tenor.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Yeah, so you're a tenor.
So I'm a tenor, but within that bracket of soprano, alto, tenor, baritone, bass, there is what are called subfachs, or a different vocal fach. I know that's such a horrible word. It's basically it just means a different category of tenor. So you have a
So you're
lyric.
special.
So every tenor is different. So you've got lyric tenors and all these other tenors. So yeah.
Okay, and for those of you wondering, my vocal type is mezzo. I'm generally a mezzo soprano. That's kind of where the warmth of my voice sits. If you're interested in knowing your voice qualification, the best thing to do is to talk to your teacher personally, because there's a few different things that classify you. But if you want a very broad, like a general kind of indication, we did do some videos to give you a general indication based on range alone. So just see where you feel most comfortable based on those videos, and that might give you a basic idea. But it's not written in stone.
Yes.
Just from that, because you do need a teacher to hear you.
Yeah, it's also to do with like vocal colour and stuff like that. It's not just range.
Exactly, the warmth of voice. So, sorry, Grace.
Hello, Grace.
You are amazing. You've obviously had some form of training. We believe you've probably had some form of classical training, is our feeling, and that's certainly where your voice seems to be coming from, a classical kind of angle.
Well, it's a very classical placement,
Yes,
if anything.
Yes, definitely. You got that kind of high back of the tongue. A kind of big space. It's kind of a wide kind of.
It's what it's a sound does this, doesn't it? As opposed to this, which is the technical term.
Yes. And so what we think you're fabulous. And I love the setup. I love the video. You look great. You've obviously done some performing. What we think you need to do in order to get better is to work firstly on connection with the text.
Yes.
So this particular point, Sally Bowles she's fed up. She's saying, maybe this time things will happen. She's been kind of thrown aside so many times. She's saying, maybe this time, maybe this person will be the right person. Maybe for once I'll be happy. So it has to come from a place of Defiance against unhappiness. So she's deeply unhappy, frustrated, and then this defiance that comes through. She has this discovery in the song. Now, most musical theatre songs will have some form of discovery. And you have to, as an actor or an actress, you have to show that discovery, that realization. You have to come at the end of the song to some form of solution. So you start, you come with some form of problem or something that's bothering you, and then by the end you've had some form of realization, or you have a form of resolution at the end. This is now what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's to give up or whether it's to go ahead, and in this one particularly, she's defiant by the end. So you need to find more of that connection. And in the earlier bits, when you're softer in the voice, you can get more. You can spit out some of the words more. You can show in your face a little bit more. I'm maybe this time, maybe that would be nice, wouldn't it?
I think a good trick for that is to actually go through the song as if it were a monologue.
Yeah, so take the song, the melody away, the music
and
away, and
just look
speak
at
it.
the lyrics, because when reading it, you'll actually find. I've done this so many times where I've been singing songs, and say my professor's gone to me, "What are you singing about?" And I was like, "Oh, I actually have no idea."
Yeah.
And then you look at it and you go, "Oh, it's completely different to how I envisages the song, just from the melody." So read it and just basically work out what you're saying from the text.
Yeah, it's really important. If anyone's getting into musical theatre, the
Yes.
most important thing is the acting.
Yes.
You can cover so many sins,
Oh
so
my
many
gosh.
vocal sins, if
So
you've got
many.
the acting.
So
I've
many.
been to see people whose voices haven't been perfect, but their acting has been so powerful that I didn't care. I didn't care that they cracked on the notes. I didn't care that they didn't quite. Maybe they weren't in tune at some points. But if the acting is spot on, I feel it. And
Yeah.
I've heard people who are fantastic singers, phenomenal, flawless, but they're so disconnected that I've just been bored. I'm like, I don't really want to watch it.
And I think a good example of this, as well as the song "Send in the Clowns," was actually written for a singer whose vocal range was only an octave and a half.
Judi Dench.
Was it Judi Dench?
Judi Dench.
It wasn't written for her, was it?
Yeah, I think so. She's definitely the one who sang it famously.
Yes, she sang it. I don't think it was written for her, though.
Was it not?
I have no idea. Guys.
Google it. Guys, can anyone help
but
us?
I remember being told this at the... I'm not going to say at the Academy in case it's wrong. But I remember being taught this, that the actual song was written for a performer whose vocal range was only an octave and a
tiny.
quarter. And the voice wasn't the most important part of said performer. It was the acting through the voice.
Yeah.
And that's why it's such an amazing song to sing, "Send in the Clowns."
Yeah. And so one of the people, Ella, actually has said that she loves your voice and she just felt that you could let go more. And in that actually means, connect more, be more vulnerable, be more rah. And so to help you with this as well, because you have this kind of classical voice, there's a couple of little things that can help you. When you sing, it's gotta happen sometime, you're singing happen, it's gotta happen. And what you want to do is open that bit up a bit more. It's gotta happen. So if you let the tongue drop down at the back, open up the mouth, because you've got a beautiful booming voice.
Beautiful.
So open up that vowel. Happen. Get it forward. And then on the word begin, da da da. Now it's time to begin. On that one, you want to open that. You want to open it, but push it forward and make it twangy.
Yeah.
Begin. So with that one, it's the opposite of happen. You want to get the tongue high and get more twang.
Yes,
Yeah,
the tongue
begin.
high.
Forward there. And you can really push it. Not push it.
Not push.
But you can really activate that and make that nice and strong and feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
You
I'd
know?
also say as well, a good quality to have would be just a tiny bit of twang, which is something that classically, although classical singers do use twang, we don't use twang. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
it's
one thing I love.
It's much more here. Ah!
But the thing is,
Whereas what you want is the mask of the face brought in.
So
more
we're doing
there.
stuff like nya 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 will help access. I mean, obviously, you don't want to sing like nya because that's a
Yeah.
bit too Ethel Merman.
A mix of the two.
Yeah, a mix of the two. But I would say just maybe apply a little bit more twang to certain parts of the voice.
Yeah. Anyway, great song and great performance. Guys, just so you know, everyone who's featured in these feedback sessions, their links are down in the description box below. So please do go and show them some love. As you can see, Grace only has 87 subscribers.
Give
and
her
that
love.
video's only had 72 views. So maybe go and give her some love and subscribe and check out some of her other stuff. Okay, so who is next?
Next is
I don't know how to pronounce this. This is Sondrissa. Sondrissa del Sol.
Del Sol.
I'm sorry if I
Sondrissa
pronounced that
del
wrong.
Sol?
I'm sure I have pronounced that wrong. But you are new to singing. You're only 17. You're new to singing, and you want some general advice. So here we go.
We're 1,000 miles from comfort. We have traveled land and sea. But as long as I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. I would wait forever, exalted in the sea. As long as I am with you, my heart continues to beat. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, gave you another name, switch up the batteries. If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. Know with all of your heart you can take me. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be.
All right, thank you so much, and fabulous. Well done for being so brave.
Yeah,
Singing a cappella,
hard.
yeah, it's so tough.
Very hard.
So fair enough. Most backing tracks, you can find on the internet, and if you're going to put forward for these feedback sessions, I think it would be helpful if you sang with a track, only so that we can then see what your pitching is like.
Yeah.
In general, as you're singing a cappella, you were in tune with yourself. So you definitely stayed at the pitch that you started at, which is fantastic. Yeah. So the positives are you've got great tone, great pitch. I think what we would say to you, you are new to singing, and we can hear that. There's just a lacking in muscularity and a lacking in confidence in general. So we think you've got a great basis to start from.
Oh, yeah.
You've obviously got a good ear for it because your pitching is good.
Also as well, I would say, you're only 17 and the voice is still very young.
Yeah.
Like at 17, I remember
got years,
you've got so many years before the voice even begins to
settle
and blossom. So definitely worth starting now.
Yeah, just doing regular exercise, being disciplined with your exercise. So, at least 3 times a week you want to be, even if it's only 15 minutes a day, at least 3 times a week, just regular exercise, working the different parts of your voice. And as your voice is changing, go with that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just discovering and exploring, your head voice, the belt, twang, like more classical sounds, just discovering what your voice can do and where it can go. So, yeah.
And also, don't be afraid to make ugly sounds, because
absolutely, it's important.
It's important to discover how to make a sound, because then you find out how to make it sound nice, for want of a better word. And that's one thing I always remember being told is don't be afraid to sound horrible. Because that's the only way you can discover how to make the sound. That's the only way you can get better.
Yeah, and when you're doing twang exercise, when you're doing it's horrendous.
Oh, it's a horrible.
But it's the only way to build real strength and twang into the voice. So you have to do them as well. Okay, so well done, and just keep at it. I think your voice is going to blossom so much over the next kind of 6 years. So enjoy that journey. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at is, the last one we're going to look at, is another musical theatre performer. This lady, Marina, I think she's called Marina.
Yeah, Marina.
Marina really wants to work in musical theatre, loves musical theatre and wants to be involved in some respect, and wants any kind of feedback or advice that we can offer. So let's have a look at Marina.
I don't have a sunny disposition. I'm not known for being too amused. Many mirrors locked in one position. See my face, I'm enthused. Suddenly, however, I've been puzzled. Bunny rabbits make me wanna cry. All my inhibitions have been muzzled, and I think I know why. I'm being pulled in a new direction, but I think I like it. I think I I'm being pulled in a new direction. Through my painful pursuit, somehow bird is too crude. Other things I detested, impossibly cute. God, what do I do? Mother always.
Okay, thank you very much, Marina. So fantastic. You've definitely got lots of strength and
very
power
much
in
so.
your voice, and your pitch is good, which is always a good start. So I haven't seen this musical, but Nick is familiar with this musical,
Yes.
and the biggest note that comes from Nick is
to connect with the song and to understand what it's about. This song in the musical is Wednesday. I don't know how familiar you are with the Addams Family, but it's Wednesday who is used to, for everybody who knows the Addams Family, she's used to
Being
playing
moody.
with chainsaws. But she's
kind of moody, and she's just like
a crazy young lady. She plays with chainsaws. She works in a dungeon. She's not your typical
happy little girl.
happy little girl. And this song is actually about her changing and enjoying all the things that little girls are supposed to like bunny rabbits suddenly make you want to cry. And it's this confusion of going, hang on. So one of the lyrics is, see my face, it's enthused. Her face is always this. See my face, it's enthused. Do you see what I mean? And
So it's ironic.
It's ironic. And this song is a comedy song. And it's this stillness that Wednesday has, which gives it that comedy
Yeah.
and the irony of the fact that this is her happy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she's going, bunny rabbits really make me want to cry. Oh my gosh, what is happening to me? And then she goes, I'm being pulled in a new direction. But I think I like it.
Yeah, so it's that's the realisation. I was talking earlier about musical theatre. There has to be that discovery or some sort of resolution that comes with every song. And this is a perfect example. So you started off the song, Marina, very happy, like this, but that's not Wednesday.
No.
And so anyone who is musical theatre, even if you're not musical theatre, you're telling a story.
Oh yeah, completely.
If your song comes from a backstory, then you have to make sure you're accurate with that, and you have to make sure you go out and research it. So if I was going to an audition for musical theatre, or if I'm performing the song even in a cabaret or in the show, you have to know, where does your character start the song? How are they feeling? Where exactly have they just physically been? Are they out of breath? Are they depressed? Are they angry with something? And you have to start the song with that energy. And then it's, where do I end the song? What are the moments of discovery throughout the song? And that's what you have to communicate. So I think overall, we think you do definitely have potential to work in musical theatre.
very much so.
And to be fair, I would say that to anybody. I'd say that anyone has the potential. If you can understand a story and then retell that story, you have the potential. You definitely have a head start because you have a good voice. I think if anything with the voice, I would suggest that you maybe do a few of the ungi exercises, because it's a little bit fixed in the nasal area, so it's a little bit forward placed and a little bit too much in the mask of the face. So you want to bring that down, make that soft palate work harder, and that's why the ungi exercises would be good for you. There's a video called Tackling Nasality, so if you look at that one for exercises, that will help.
And I also think as well is to make sure that the body is connected to the voice, because right now it feels,
bring this down.
Yeah, it feels ever so slightly that this section is working 100 miles an hour, which is fantastic, but then everything else below the neck isn't working as hard. It's not as connected. So it's that thing about grounding the body, bringing the voice down into the body. Will really help.
Yeah, so get that neck in line. You'll see lots of musical theatre students doing this. This is not good. It's never good.
Not good.
And also, it's too musical theatre. You need to make it true.
Well, that's the thing. I think there is a sort of stereotype of musical theatre performers that we can't actually act because it's very showy and Broadway, and it's not the case.
We need to tackle this.
We need to tackle this and stop this. It's first and foremost, with any song you sing in musical theatre, it is about the text. Second comes the voice.
Yeah.
I believe that 100%. Even though I think the voice is obviously the voice is the biggest tool in which to communicate what you're saying, but the text is the most important.
Yeah.
Second comes the sound, because I remember one masterclass I got given was they said, if somebody sits down and goes, oh, that was a lovely singer, you've not done the job. Because they're meant to go, wow,
what a story, or that moved me, or that was so funny, or
yeah, that was hilarious, or then they'll go, oh yeah, they're also an incredible singer. But if the first thing somebody says is, wow, great singer, you've not done the job.
Yeah. So connect with the text, really think about the character, the acting first. Do some work on that kind of nasal placement, bring it down, doing the ungi exercises, and correct your head position and try to connect more with the body. Okay. I was going to also suggest to you that maybe looking at music songs from the musical 9 or Don Quixote would be good for you, because I think that would really suit you.
Yes, there's one called Aldonza, which is Aldonza.
I don't.
Yes, it's Aldonza. It's a very good song, very funny, and actually no, it's not quite funny. No, Aldonza's not funny. I apologise. It's not funny. It's very dramatic, but it's a very good song.
And a lot of the musical numbers in 9 are fantastic, and I think they will really suit you. So check those out. Okay, so let's have a quick look at what people are saying in the chat room, and then we're going to wrap up and say goodbye until next week. So, Anna, among your warm-up videos and weekly warm-up training, which one do you feel we should do regularly? Because there are so many warm-ups. There are quite a lot now. I remember it used to be that I only had one real warm-up, and lots of you used that one, and then I started adding because I didn't want you to get bored. I think the most important thing, if you're generally trying to improve your voice, then I would suggest the weekly 7-day program. So you've got a different one for every day of the week, and it covers different aspects of the voice. And so, it works your voice all round. If you don't want to do that, then I suggest any of the daily, so you've got the 2 daily exercises for a healthy voice, for an awesome voice. You could do those. If you're just generally warming up and you're already quite an advanced singer, I suggest the West End warm-up as a good one, because that's good just to get your voice constantly oiled. And it's the one that professionals use in the West End. So, I would go for that one. I hope that helps. The reason I put so many warm-up videos out there is because lots of you have different needs and different wants and different tastes. So I'm trying to cater to everyone as much as I can. I'm just going to scan through it. I'm sorry, there's lots of comments, so forgive me if I miss any of them. Look, Swarthy says, wow, she's awesome. So lovely, nice
Very
feedback. Okay, lots of you asking for reactions. I have mentioned before, if you want a reaction to your video, you're going to have to wait until October. If you haven't entered this particular giveaway, then you'll have to wait until October till the next giveaway. So you just have to hang on and be patient. All right. Otherwise, if you're desperate, then you can become a patron, and patrons also get a private little bit of feedback. So something to consider. All right. Any more questions, guys, before we say goodbye? Okay. So I'm going to say a huge thank you to Nick.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I probably will be coming again live next Thursday. Where I don't think Nick will be with me, but we'll see.
No idea.
Well, Nick's in a show at the moment,
Yes,
so he's far too busy to be over here too often.
Stop, man.
Okay, so thank you so much for being here, for being so lovely and so supportive of those who did enter. Thank you if you entered and you were featured this week. Don't forget to go and check those people out. If you liked them, go and give them some love. And don't forget to give this channel some love by clicking the subscribe button and the bell notification button after subscribe, so you don't miss any future lessons. Also, if you have any children and you'd like your children to follow the best children's YouTube channel that is coming up, then make sure you go and check out Bella and Beans TV. Bella and Beans TV. I am Bella. This is Beans. Let's do that again.
Okay, do it again.
I am Bella.
And I am Beans. Oh, wait, I've used the wrong hand.
No.
I am Beans.
Let's do it again. You ready?
All right.
You didn't see that. I am Bella.
I am Beans.
And we are
Bella and Beans TV.
Yes, we're doing lots of educational videos and lots of singing videos. So if you have any young children, then please do share that channel with them. That would be amazing. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I will see you all soon. Until next time, happy singing, take care, and goodbye.
Bye.